It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Thursday, April 13th edition of the show. Isaiah, in the show today, we talked about getting a butt tattoo.
Yeah.
What would we have to offer you to get a tattoo on your butt?
A
It would have to
lifetime
be-
supply of what?
I don't know if I could do a lifetime supply of something. I'd rather do a wager.
A wager.
A wager, like have that be like the consequence, you know?
Oh.
So where
see,
like I
okay.
bet on something because one of my friends
You'd have
did
to be
that.
real confident.
Yeah, one of my friends did that. He ended up getting a butt tattoo.
Oh, yeah?
Because he wagered a couple years back. It was the year that, if you remember, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. When Carson Wentz got hurt, one of his best friends was a really big Eagles fan. And he said, there's no way you guys can win the Super Bowl with your backup quarterback. And then they wagered a butt tattoo. And they won the Super Bowl with the backup quarterback.
And he actually
followed through like a real man.
That's crazy. Usually
Yep.
when people make those kind of bets, it's like everybody understands. Like if the crazy 1,000,000 to 1 shot happens,
Yeah.
which that wasn't 1,000,000 to 1, but like the crazy thing
it was
happens.
pretty close.
Yeah, but usually that's understood. They're like, no, we were just fooling around.
We're just joking with you.
Yeah.
Well, when you hear about the Omaha Steaks one, they're offering stuff for a butt tattoo. It's the whole side. It's one cheek.
One
so like,
entire cheek.
That's a lot. Then if it was a friendly wager with friends, I think you could get away with just like something smaller.
Something smaller, yeah.
And so this you have to decide if it's worth it.
Free Omaha steaks for a whole butt side.
Free hamburgers for life.
Omaha hamburgers.
And they're not specifically saying like is that you get one package of hamburgers every week for the rest of your life. Like they haven't said what
They
it
haven't
is.
gotten the details.
Or
but-
is it like gift cards and you have to buy them with the gift cards?
Yeah,
and
they
then,
give
Still,
you
though,
the amount.
I'd have to try them first to see if I like them. Have a good taste for them.
I mean, they're pretty
Tattoos or,
well renowned.
Yeah, the tattoos. Yeah, I didn't try the tattoo on first, so then I can decide if I like it or not. No, the Omaha hamburgers because I don't like all. If I'm gonna get something like that for life, then I need to know I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you can never become a vegetarian or vegan at that point. 'cause you're
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I can't because I have an order coming.
Yes, unfortunately. We also talked about more ChatGPT possibly affecting your upcoming wedding, if you would so like.
If you have a important speech coming up or something that you need help, this is another unique way that maybe this program can help.
If you log into ChatGPT, one of it gives you examples of questions you can ask it, and one of them is come up with some creative ideas for a 10-year-old's birthday party or whatever. So you see that and you think that it could definitely help you plan a wedding, right?
Yeah, sure.
So do you think wedding planners are getting real nervous?
I think everything's going to be automated one day.
You think
And
everybody's getting real nervous?
Everybody will get real nervous. We should be nervous.
You think artificial intelligence will be the end of humanity on Earth?
No, but it'll just change it.
You think it'll change it a lot?
Because again, I'm probably more like it won't overthrow us. It'll just be so convenient that that's how everybody does things. So yeah, it won't have the same amount of heart, but it'll be close enough and it's easier.
Have you ever thought about this? What if everything is AI already?
Oh.
What if it's like the Fermi paradox kind of thing, where
sure.
if there must be aliens out there? It's the same thing with like AI. It could be like, what if AI was invented and is so advanced that we're now thinking we're living life, but we're simulated.
You're saying that we're robots? Is that what you're
That
saying?
we could, yeah,
We're in
all
the thing.
We just don't even understand.
We're in.
But then, what if we could come
the
up
Matrix.
with an AI that could defeat the AI that's created us?
You know what, Hudson? I'm
we
gonna let
also
you
talked
work on that.
about. We also talked about on the podcast. We made our way down to if your significant other goes to a family event, do you have to go? And if you do have to go, why do you have to go?
We proposed some interesting questions. So as always, if you have any thing you want to add to it, you're definitely welcome to text that in to 877 to RadioU and put that it's for the podcast.
Have you guys ever gotten in trouble for not going to something? Nikki, you for sure have, haven't you?
Yeah. When I was younger, yes. I will not go into details, but there was a person or some family members, because you know how you have different sections of family members?
Yeah.
And no offense, but some sections are more important than others because you're more close to them.
Yes.
And I just remember there was one section that was just like, nah, I never went.
Yeah.
And I just remember it was brought up like, hey, you're going to have to give a little here.
Give us a little
and
more.
go every so often. But it wasn't a bad thing.
Hudson?
I don't think I ever got in trouble for missing something.
You never had the parents talk to you about your choices with
About
this?
like being around more,
Yeah.
showing face.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't
Being
think
a-
so.
Look at this good little boy.
Yeah.
Good member of the family.
I do remember it was towards the end of the first girl I dated where one of the things that was towards the end was like fighting over Thanksgiving and who would, who was going where or whatever.
That's when you ended it. You're like, well, this just isn't going to work,
If
I
you're
don't
not
think.
coming with me, then this is over.
This is over.
Yeah.
Well, problem solved,
That's right,
I
that's
mean,
right.
you go to then not to each other's place.
I think everyone's happier now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, enjoy the podcast. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching and listening to it. If you want to check out our food fried from this morning, we tested the Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts and the banana bread ones. So if you want to see what that's like on video, go to the previous video and audio. It should, I don't know if it's included or not, but you can find it.
And we'll catch you next time.
All right.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
From HBO Max.
Oh, did everybody get the email yesterday?
I got the email.
Isaiah, did you get the email?
I ain't got the max.
You didn't get, yeah.
Oh, that's because you probably never subscribed.
Yep.
Isaiah's
did not.
maxed out. But see if this all changes your mind, Isaiah, about the whole HBO Max situation. Because if you missed it, the announcement was that we now have a date for when HBO Max will cease to exist and Max will come into being, which will be a combo of all the stuff that was already on HBO Max that they haven't gotten rid of and Discovery Plus, and they're
Yeah.
putting it all together and still, for now, charging the same price, which was something that I was happy to see. And they've also, as part of the announcement, announced all kinds of new stuff that they're going to be bringing to HBO.
Oh, that's why they were announcing all the shows.
Yeah, it was all a combined thing. But yeah, so all the stuff that's coming to Max. I believe the date was May 23rd is when that will be. I know it was in May, but I don't have it right here in front of me. But here, let me go through some of the new stuff and see if it convinces you that Max might be for you coming up next month. First of all, the big one, Harry Potter.
Oh, they're
TV
doing a show.
series. Yeah. And this is a big undertaking. They say that they called it a decade-long series, which will cover one book per season. That's a
Wow.
big commitment.
That's a large amount.
That sounds like the Lord of the Rings stuff on Amazon, where they're doing it no matter whether people enjoy it or not.
Meaning like they're planning to be doing the TV show in the long run.
Yeah, that's right. And no low ratings will stop them. So that's that. They also, and I think it's important to point out too, that J.K. Rowling is involved. She will be definitely, it sounds like, very involved in the making of that show. Okay. Also, Game of Thrones spinoff.
Another one.
Another prequel that's set 100 years before the actual Game of Thrones. It's called...
I thought that was House of Dragon. It's like, wait a minute, how early are we going now?
Yeah, we're going...
Farther, Nikki, farther.
There's no limit to how far in the past they can go.
It's like before the dragons were even there.
Yeah, this one is called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. If a name like that doesn't draw you in, I don't know what will.
The Hedge Knight.
The Hedge Knight. It's going to be great. They also announced a spinoff of The Big Bang Theory, which they won't tell anything else about that. So maybe old Sheldon, perhaps? Older.
Middle-aged Sheldon, we can't be sure.
Younger Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
No, we
Baby
already did
Sheldon.
the young Sheldon.
Baby Sheldon.
Baby one?
Sheldon.
Sheldon's parents before he was born. I don't know. And I mean, that's just scratching the surface. They did put out, and I haven't gotten to watch it yet, they have a trailer for the Penguin show, and that's Penguin like Penguin from the Batman.
Oh, sure.
The Colin Farrell
Thanks
Penguin.
for saying that, because for 1 minute I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Some sort of
Penguin show.
You're interested.
documentary. What are we doing?
Some Discovery Plus whatnot. All right.
Yeah. No, yeah. That is probably the top interest to me is what that Penguin show will be, because Colin Farrell as the Penguin in the Batman movie last year,
Would be good.
that was excellent.
So they also said for Max, they'll be doing some new stuff with True Detective, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Night Country, the Gremlins, and yes, the Penguin Show.
Those ones are all throwaways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nobody knows those ones.
I don't know about the Gremlins animated series.
Yeah.
That was questionable.
But they're
Although I love the
pushing it.
movie. So have we convinced you?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No.
Have we convinced your parents?
I don't think so. None of that jazz sounded too.
Your ex-girlfriend.
No, none of that stuff sounded super thrilling to me.
You love Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter. I watched a bunch of Harry Potter movies over the weekend. I know that the new Harry Potter, I'm gonna hate it just because of the remake, and it doesn't matter like what they do. It could be
Everybody
great.
always messes it up.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a new Harry Potter kid who's like 9 years old. I'm gonna hate him, and he can't do anything about it. There's no way. The Game of Thrones stuff. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I know there's a lot of people that love Game of Thrones, so
Yeah.
that'll be really exciting for them, and they just want as much content as possible. And then The Big Bang Theory. I like the show, but not enough to buy HBO Max.
Hey, Max, I don't think you would have gotten him anyways.
Yeah, no matter what they announced. But I'm excited just to have the option to have the Discovery Plus stuff. Although I imagine if you're a Discovery Plus person, you don't really care about if you only had that, you're not like, ooh, Succession now. I don't think that really is going to do much for you. But for me, some of the Discovery Plus stuff, I'll be interested to throw in that garbage.
Who has Discovery Plus? That's my question.
You
have Discovery Plus?
I do, and I love it. I watch it. It's
Jeez,
awful.
Nikki, you have too much free time. I don't know how you're squeezing in all these to be able to justify that.
It's not. I just don't watch anything else.
I mean, how can you not be excited about House Hunters? Come on.
Yes, you're right. I forgot.
I watch that too.
All the midday TV shows that I used to watch when I was younger, all on Discovery Plus.
It's garbage TV. It's like, I'll throw this on and not really pay attention. It'll be great.
But it's so bad because like garbage TV makes you seem like, well, my life is okay now.
yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
We're finally getting close to the coronation of King Charles III. That'll be on May 6th is the date for that. And there will be one notable person that will not be attending.
Us.
True.
We are notable. We are notable.
We did not get the clearance to go over there to cover it for you guys. I'm very sorry.
Unfortunately. But also joining us and not attending will be Meghan Markle herself.
Oh, they decided?
Yeah, so Prince Harry is going to go, but she's leaving Meghan behind. She's going to be taking care of their two children, Archie and Lilibet,
Which
in
feels like
California.
something you say.
That's
yeah,
right.
how old are these children?
And if you're that famous, like, there's probably people.
But that is what people sometimes, one of the beauties of having children is they say that you can use them as an excuse to get out of stuff you don't want to go to.
Oh, you can even use your dog. Like, you
Yeah.
just can't possibly travel right now.
I don't know if that would work for the coronation, though. But kids.
The kids is better.
Kids, but this is crazy though. Archie, it's his birthday on the same. Now that's just poor scheduling on the part of the king. Why would he do that?
What are they saying by
to
doing
his
this?
grandson? Yeah, he just doesn't care. And now his father has to miss the birthday party because he's got to go to some king coronation. But what does it mean? What do you think? When somebody misses out on a family function, like going to a significant other's family function thing, is that a sign of anything, you think?
Well, I think that is a sign on this one, but you mean just like for everyday people?
Yeah, well, I mean, in this case, it clearly seems like a sign that Meghan doesn't like the family.
Yes.
Which we don't need that sign. We've gotten that's coming through loud and clear for this. But like, oftentimes it would mean the opposite, right? It would mean there could be an issue in the relationship between the two, and so they don't want to go do something together, or they have to be but with one of the other's family.
I remember when I was younger, it was more like I used to you stagger things. Does anybody else stagger family obligations?
You go to some, don't go to others.
You don't go to all of them because you
Yes.
don't want to be like horrible because you never go, but you also don't go to literally everything. So you just try to balance it
You
out.
set that precedent.
Yeah, you're just like every other.
Ready? How about this? We'll just go down the line. We'll start at Thanksgiving. Do you have to be there?
Oh, that's a better one, but I don't think so.
Nikki says no.
I don't think so.
On Thanksgiving. Hudson, thoughts on Thanksgiving?
I think
It's a family get together. Everybody's there.
So, like, if my wife, all the family, all of her family,
her uncles, her aunts,
I mean, I gotta
brothers,
be
sisters,
there,
you gotta
right?
be there, right? How about Christmas? Christmas, you gotta be there, right?
Of course.
What about Easter?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
They're doing like there's Easter baskets. Your little cousins, they're like out there getting the eggs and whatnot.
It's also really awkward when it's just one going and not the other. That's when it seems like someone doesn't like each other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we didn't know Meghan hated the king or whatever, like, just doesn't like the royal family, it would be weird. It would be like, oh, is there a problem with their marriage or whatever? But in this case, we know why she's really not going. But I don't know. It's so tough though when you do, like, once the relationship gets real serious, then both families sometimes will have stuff on those big holidays.
Oh, yeah,
and then what do you
have
do?
to.
You can't. I don't think there's a certain point in your relationship when you don't split up anymore and go to each of them.
Yeah.
I think you go together. You either pick one side or the other. If you split up, I think it starts to get weird.
And
I
then
think
you,
that's
It
weird.
is,
then
and
you
that's
change
not fair.
out holidays.
Yeah, exactly. So like last year we did Christmas with my mom. Next year we can do it with your mom. Whatever, however you do it, or if you split up, if you're close enough to where you can split up the day in half, where you can do mornings over here and afternoons over there, but you can't be separating. I think that's odd.
Yeah, and it's actually, when you think about it, it's not that far into the relationship where it's super weird for both of you to not go to one thing. But the worst is having to go to both.
Oh yeah. In the mornings you're over here
Yeah.
doing the Easter bunny thing, and then the afternoon you're over here doing the Easter bunny thing. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
You go, like, Thanksgiving is the top one. You go to one Thanksgiving, and then you have to go to the other, and it's all leftovers already and stuff. And it's just like, why am I even doing this? I'm full already, but I still have to take a plate out of obligation.
The first time Hudson's complained about Thanksgiving food.
That's right.
And I had a friend, it's not me, even though everybody always says that, but I had a friend who hated it because then their whole family dynamic made it also, it wasn't just you couldn't split up, you had to do a morning and afternoon, but it was also a hierarchy of morning, everybody wanted that spot. So then if you picked the other people as the afternoon, everybody was mad because they were the second one.
That's right.
And no
I
one
could
ever
totally
ate
see
the
that.
same. It was just, it's
That
always
is
a thing.
true. That's how it goes too. Same thing with like Christmas. Like there's people who want to do it like first thing in the morning, and so if you go over to one family, then the other family's waiting. It's just stressful no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
that is one of the
You never win.
The difficulties of a relationship. I'll tell you what, though, talking not family functions, but just, can you imagine like the best relationship would be where you could just be like, hey, like your wife goes, hey, we're gonna go do this gathering with several friends. Would you like to come? And you could just go, no.
Actually, no, I'm
Either side,
good.
because both sides, I think, feel the obligation. It's
No.
hard to say no.
Tell your
It's
dad I
basically
said
impossible.
hello.
It's not
Yeah.
what they do. What you do is the best, most ultimate is when someone's under the weather.
Yes.
and you
Not
don't have
feeling
to
Not
go.
feeling good today.
And no one is mad at
But
you.
usually that sounds like an excuse for you guys aren't getting along.
Yeah, that's true. Then you're fighting. All right, just go to the parties.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
I want to get your thoughts on this. We have a woman in San Diego, California. She got married. Her name is Elise Wynn. She got married in February, but she did something a little unique. You know, we keep hearing about ChatGPT. You know what she used ChatGPT for?
For something with her wedding?
Uh-huh.
What did she do?
She asked it to help her write her wedding vows.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She basically, it sounds to me like she had the ChatGPT lay out the framework for her wedding vows. She added a few things in herself, and then she kind of had ChatGPT then again go back over it, it sounds like, and kind of improve it from there.
Double check it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you're supposed to write your own wedding vows.
Some people
Some
do
people
that.
do?
It's pretty common.
Yeah.
I know my brother and his now wife definitely wrote their wedding vows. They were very unique, but that's
Does Zadie feel like that was some sort of insult? Like it definitely seemed like they wrote them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna think.
No,
I mean, they for
know.
sure wrote their own.
I
Real
know that they
obvious.
wrote them. I am
So
positive.
if they
of
don't,
that.
if you don't write them, I have no idea about weddings. If you don't write them, Who's writing them?
No, I think there's just like a general set of them that most
people just use. They're like, here's the template.
Yeah.
And you just read those.
It's like the to have and to hold thing, pretty much, or whatever. Like
in
that.
sickness and in health.
Yeah.
That.
Like when they're that's wild. I thought that they wrote those things on the little piece of paper that they were reading off of.
No, most I think are already it's just written. It's just done.
There's a standard. I'm sure there's a few variations, but there's like the standard wedding vows. But it's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty common for a lot of people to write your own wedding vows because that makes it much more personal to you. Which is why using ChatGPT to do it for you seems really like, why even write your own? Just use one of the standards.
It's helpful. Or like say you were doing a best man or like a maid of honor speech. That'd be great if you had to do a speech for something.
But I think then it loses the whole point of that is supposed to be personal, though.
Close enough. It's close enough. It literally is good enough.
I've known this guy all my life, and that's why I'm his best man. And so I asked somebody else to write a speech about him.
Some people just
I
are
asked
not,
an AI to write a speech about him.
but maybe not everybody's great at writing, and you just need.
That's for
again,
sure.
GPT is good for like framework stuff.
Well, Elise has a master's degree from Kansas as I look at her LinkedIn profile, so you would think that she'd be able to conjure something up.
You would
Did you
think.
really look up her LinkedIn?
I mean, she has a pretty unique name. It was pretty easy to find, and this one's in San
So
Diego.
you're saying she could have done better?
I think that she could have probably conjured something up herself.
You would think. But what was her master's in?
She's a financial something now.
So not English.
Not, I mean,
Yeah.
but still, if you're getting a master's in something, you'd think that you would have a little bit of writing in your background.
You might think that.
And
I
if
guess.
not, if you were
Don't you have to
her-
write a whole thesis or something
You
to get
would
a
think.
master's degree?
If you were one of her professors and you're hearing this story, maybe you should
Yeah,
go back and
that's
see like
right.
how is she doing all of her work?
What else did ChatGPT do for us? So I don't know. I just think that there's some things that for this AI, like, yeah, it's helpful, but there's just some things that are meant to be personal that are supposed to come from your heart. And you know what ChatGPT doesn't have?
A
yet?
heart?
A heart.
Well, they're working on it. They're trying to
that's
improve
right.
every day.
No, because a heart makes you weak.
I like how there's another part of it that says it helped her when she was in a pinch to draft her vows. Like, if this
Did
was
you not
flipped
know
around.
the wedding was coming up?
This is what's wild, is if this was flipped around and this was the guy who was like, oh, he was in a pinch, he waited to the last second, everyone would be pissed. But since it's the bride,
Right.
everyone's like, well, she was busy
She was stressed.
planning the whole thing.
Very stressed.
And then the vows just came late. But yeah, in a pinch, I guess.
It's just
Didn't know it was coming up.
Just a helpful tool, but yeah, if it was the guy, I'd be like, he doesn't love her at all.
He doesn't even care about her. Are you joking?
He doesn't have a heart either.
He doesn't even deserve her. This
They would
girl.
have told her to not marry him.
Yep.
The Riot Radio U.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, Nikki, and try to convince you to get a tattoo on your butt.
Well, convince away. Let me
Assuming
hear your argument.
that you don't have one there already.
do not.
I've got here.
But what a way to find out if I did.
I've got a reason. Yeah, that's right. I've got a reason why you might want to do it, though. Have you ever had Omaha steaks?
Yeah,
They're pretty good, aren't they?
not bad.
That's what I hear. I don't know if I've had them or not. I don't
We
even
sometimes
know.
would get them when we would do like cookouts during the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah?
So that would usually be them.
Like a big treat.
Yeah. And then
That's
we
a-
realized like we can get other hot dogs. So we stopped.
Yeah, probably for a lot cheaper too.
Sure.
Well, Omaha Steaks is got a promotion going on. They are offering to give one lucky person a lifetime supply of burgers if you volunteer to get a tattoo on your butt. But it can't just be any tattoo. It's got to be a full-size burger tattoo. It's got to take up like your whole cheek, the entire
Really?
cheek.
And it does have to have the Omaha Steaks logo?
I don't think so.
It's just putting a hamburger?
It's just a big hamburger on your butt, and you can't just go. This is the other thing too. Don't just go to your local tattoo place and say, put a burger
It's
tattoo
temporary.
on my butt.
Yeah.
You have to volunteer to do this, and then they're going to choose a person to get the tattoo that will also, and they are going to fly you out. They're going to give you the tattoo, I think, for free as well. And then whoever gets that tattoo from their special tattoo artist, Steve Butcher, then you'll also get the free Omaha Steaks burgers for the rest of your life.
So it seems like they're also promoting the type of tattoo. It's a hyper realistic cheeseburger tattoo.
Yeah.
So you'll get flown out to Southern California. The tattoo has to be a cheeseburger with all the stuff on it, like all the fixings they call it, and that's what you get. And then what do they figure? Because whenever you get hamburgers for life or something, it's always like, well, you get 2 per week because that's all you should be having.
Right.
So, like, what is their amount you would actually end up getting of Omaha steaks?
Let me see. Let me see if I can figure that out. They probably don't make it very obvious, do they?
Maybe not.
Where it just sounds like you're going to get free burgers for life, but it's not so simple. I don't know that. I also don't know if it's like, you know more about tattoos than I do. How long do you think that tattoo would take to do? It feels like that's very intricate.
Well, it depends
and
on
sizable, depending on the size of your butt.
Everybody's butt's different, so I bet you it does vary. But I would think maybe 6 to 8 hours,
That's a
maybe 1 or
long
2
time.
sessions.
I mean, for free Omaha steaks for the rest of your life, though. But I think we've seen worse, in my opinion, worse tattoo for free
Offerings.
stuff
Yeah.
promotions, because the tattoos are more ridiculous looking and they are in a more obvious spot. If you're definitely for a guy where you're not wearing like bikinis or anything, like you could get away with hardly anybody seeing this unless you really trusted them.
But it's kind of odd that it has to be a full half of your bottom because they're probably going to do a lot of social media with this. And if you've never gotten a tattoo, even if it's been in a more visible place, you have to sometimes be slightly embarrassed because of how they have to get the tattoo done and exposing and all that stuff. And so, like, you'd have to sit there with half your butt out while they're tattooing it while somebody's doing an Instagram live with it. Like, I feel like that's even more weird.
Yeah, definitely.
But
it's
that's
a
a no
lot that
for
goes
you?
into it.
No for you?
Yeah, I don't have a tattoo. I don't know if I want this to be my first one.
Could be your only one.
Yeah, but at least I could keep it hidden from mostly everyone.
I mean, hamburgers there for a while is expensive.
Yeah.
So what would you do?
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
This is a wild story. A teacher in Florida has been arrested for allegedly organizing and running a fight club at her middle school.
Oh, no.
With her students.
Oh, no. So the students were fighting?
She was getting the students to fight.
Oh, no.
And she, had it all organized and everything. She was
At
the
least she's
mastermind of it
organized.
all. That's right. That's organizing middle school students. Can you believe it?
I mean,
that's difficult.
For some other places, they'd be lucky and looking for people who would be so organized.
Yeah, it's pretty wild what she was able to get away with for a while. But of course, even despite her rules being 30 seconds, no screaming, no phones, no hair pulling, phones somehow entered the equation. Videos were taken. And so evidence started to mount against
they
this
found
woman.
out.
A school resource officer heard about it. And so that was the end of that. So she's now been arrested, and she could face up to a year in prison for each of the counts that she's going to face here.
Oh, gosh.
So it could add up to quite a bit.
Isaiah, have you ever seen Fight Club?
I've seen the movie, yeah.
Okay. Was it
Good movie.
I mean, it's an older movie at this point. So
I think it came out in 99.
a part of you is like, wow, people are still doing this.
In middle school now.
Yeah, well, it's the teachers. I mean, they're still setting it up. So
actually, the teacher's only 23. She wasn't even born when Fight Club came out.
why would she do that?
Yeah.
Was she making money somehow?
That's what I didn't figure out is where does this idea come from? Where it sounds like it was just her and all the students, but did she think this up, or were like some of the students kind of getting it started and she's like, I can capitalize on this? That's what I don't know. I don't know if they've gotten to that point yet, because she was just arrested and fired, I think. So this is all kind of new, but it's pretty wild. It's just wild stuff.
So they were pre-planned. They were endorsed by the teacher. She would be there, and she would ask students if they wanted to run it back. So have a fight, and she'll be arraigned on May 4th.
You'd think that she would be charging for entry. She isn't even making money off of this. Like, what kind of a fight club is this? You would think she would for sure charge the other middle schoolers to watch.
Just pure entertainment.
You'd maybe charge if other teachers, like what you want to do is you and the teachers would be fighting, and then there probably wouldn't be any charges. It's just because it's the students.
I don't know. Something tells me that might be illegal too.
I don't know.
Especially on like school time, when
And
you're on the
property.
clock.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys Ever get into a fight?
What?
Yeah, sounds like Nikki got into a fight.
No, a scuffle.
A scuffle?
A scuffle.
We young ladies, we scuffle.
Did
There
you
was
win?
hair
Did you
pulling.
win?
She didn't win. She didn't win.
I don't even think it was. It wasn't even a winning sort of situation.
Listen, there was no winner. There was no winner.
But nothing's so organized. Again, very impressed about the organized part.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
It's very impressive.
So you never got into a fight?
I've never gotten into a fight now.
How do you think you would fare?
Depends who
Not
my
now.
opponent is. If it's
Not
someone like
now.
you, very well.
Middle school.
In middle school, I would have get my butt kicked.
Oh, yeah?
I was so tiny, I would have gotten destroyed.
Well, all they
Unless
were
he
doing-
was tinier than me.
All they were doing was 30 seconds. So, like, it's 30
Yeah.
seconds. Again, no screaming, no yelling, no phones.
Maybe it's like riding a bull, though, where you think 30 seconds, that's not that long.
Oh, but
if
it's
you
harder.
you get
You
some
get
kind
the
of...
wrong matchup, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, 30 seconds is a long time.
yeah, because that's what I think. I was like, 30 seconds, I could last against Mike Tyson for 30 seconds, but yeah, I don't think so.
He would need 3 seconds to knock us out.
Right.
Let's save this idea for the next fall fundraiser.
Oh,
for the
that's a good
RadioU
idea.
Fight Club. We can make some money off that. It's just you two fighting.
Perfect. Or we get Nene involved? Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Who do you think would win at Radio U melee?
Nikki.
And if I had Eric fill in for me,
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah,
Well,
that's
we're not
right.
allowed to swap out.
You can't. It's not tag team.
Yeah, she's like, all right away. Eric, get in here. Let me tap me in.
I need you to fight for me.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.